You know, I think we shouldn't celebrate the negatives. Let's celebrate the positives and say, look, let's have Sorry Day in with Australia Day. Let's have Survival Day in with Australia Day. Let's have the founding of Australia as a nation in with the Australia Day. All of those in together, you see, and let it be a whole celebration.
Do you think that a lot of people perceive Aboriginals as people that have a victim mentality, that they walk around with regret and remorse, and they try to pursue things that they want out of this victim sort of mentality? What are your views on that?
I think we have some of that. Yeah, I think that's normal and natural that happens. You know, we've been sort of down so long, we've been deprived and disadvantaged so long, we sort of see a reflection of all these negatives in the mirror to ourselves. And I think that's rather sad. But I think we're starting to get away from that now. We're starting to be a bit more positive about ourselves. The big thing with Aboriginal affairs is that we've got to realise that it's really up to us. If we want to achieve anything in life, relationships, education objectives, health, employment and so on, it's up to the Aboriginal people themselves personally, as a community, as a nation of Aboriginal people, to turn to ourselves and say the solution lies within our own hands. Our destiny is up to us, you see. And if we get up in the morning and look in the mirror and see the black face, look and you say to the black face, well, it's up to you. What you want to do, you can do. Well, then things will change. All of these problems with governments, with the unions, with the pastoralists, with the miners, and with Pauline Hanson's are nothing in comparison to what we have to achieve within ourselves. And that's the answer to Aboriginal affairs in this country.
Well, you'd definitely be an example of that, of having gotten out of that cycle. But did you cope with racism as a child?
Absolutely, right through the whole of my life.
How did you cope?
Well, you can't do anything about it. You've got to cop it and wear it and then rock and roll with it. But you've got to keep your eye on the ball. You've got to keep your eye on higher objectives, what you want to achieve. Keep the fire in your belly going. And don't worry about these minor skirmishes on the way. If racist remarks and commentaries and associations, forget about them. Don't carry that cross into the future. Just keep your eye on the ball, on the main game.
Did you break out of a poverty cycle?
Absolutely. I was born on a police compound on the creek bed in the middle of Central Australia. I couldn't read and write till I was 10. I was brought up in Aboriginal missions and settlements all my life.
What was your inspiration?
Well, my inspiration is yourself. You've got to do it yourself. You've got to get off your black bum and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. In 1998, it's easier to do it than when I was born. And now's the time. There's a lot of opportunities around, but it's up to you. And what I say to Aboriginal people all over the place is just work it out within yourself. And if you can work it out within yourself, the problems are not easy to overcome, but they're more understandable, and you can work out strategies to overcome them.
Lastly, do you think that we will ever achieve reconciliation?
I think if we come into the next century with probably a different attitude in terms of our relationships, we have a government that's more sensitised, we have people wanting to work with each other, well then we'll achieve reconciliation. Reconciliation is not something you switch on and off. It's an evolutionary thing. It comes to you, it creeps upon you day by day. And then all of a sudden we realise we can talk to each other, understand each other better. But, you know, Australia's got a long way to go in race relations, a hell of a long way. They're only on the first rung of the ladder. They can't even understand where they are in Asia and how they can relate to Asian people, you know, who've got a tremendous culture. They're all waiting to sort of be recognised and understood and be related to. How can they relate to Aboriginal people who they don't understand anyhow? So we've got a difficult task ahead of us, but that's what makes life exciting. And we just got to work it out. So long as nobody's injured, killed, or you know, abused along the way, let's push and shove a little and call each other names if we have to. But let's work towards common goals, and I think we can achieve that because Australia's a great country. Young people, dynamic, energetic. We'll get there eventually, but it's going to be hard. That's all.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a real pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.